Hi, this is Sunny Solanki and you're tuned to CoderzColumn. In today's video, I'll be explaining how to create a simple NLP dashboard using Python dashboarding library Streamlit. In order to create an NLP dashboard, we first need to train an ML model for text classification task. So specifically for our purpose, we'll be training a random forest classifier to classify IMDB movie reviews. After training the model, we will be evaluating its performance and save it. Then we will create a dashboard that lets user provide a review, and we will use this trained model to classify the review provided by user. We will also display the amount by which each word contributed towards the prediction. So the word can be contributing positively towards the prediction, or it can be contributing negatively. So that we will display in the dashboard as well. Alright, so first of all, let me show you the dashboard that we are going to create, and then we will go ahead with the coding part. So as you can see on my screen, I have sample image open showing how our dashboard will look like. So at the beginning, as you can see, there is a text prompt where we can enter the review, and then we can click on this button classify. After classifying, we will be seeing the output below. So there will be a prediction which will be negative or positive. Then there is a confidence. So this is the probability by which the model is confident. So in this case, it's a 62% confidence that the review is negative. And then there is an original review over here, the text of the original review, and the words highlighted either red or green, specifying whether the word is contributing positively towards the prediction or negatively. And then on the right side, I have a bar chart which shows the first 50 words that contributed towards the prediction, and whether the word contributed positively or negatively. If it contributed negatively, then it will be shown with red bar, else it will be shown with the green bar. So this is the dashboard that we will be creating. So first of all, in order to create a dashboard and use it, we need to train model. So that part of the code is done in Jupyter Notebooks. So I have a Jupyter Notebook open on my screen, as you can see. And over here, I have code to train the model and save it. So at the beginning of the notebook, I have highlighted the important sections of this notebook, like load, dataset, and train model, and so on. Then I have specified Python dependency for this tutorial. So we'll be needing Streamlit, obviously, for creating dashboard. Scikit-learn will be used for training the model, or random forest classifier. Then pandas is used to maintain the data, and joblib is another library which will be used to save the model which we have trained, and lime is another Python library which let us interpret predictions made by our model. All right, so let's go ahead. So first of all, in this section, I have loaded the dataset that we'll be using for our purpose. So there is a dataset named IMDB movie reviews dataset, which has 50,000 movie reviews, and it's available from Kaggle. So let me show you. So this is the dataset that we have used for our tutorial, and the dataset has 50,000 movie reviews, and 25,000 of them are positive reviews and 25,000 are negative reviews. So this is the dataset that we'll be using. Over here, I have loaded the dataset as a pandas data frame and displayed the first few rows for your purpose. Right. So then in the second section, we have split our dataset into train and test sets, as you can see. So 80% of the dataset is kept for training purpose, and remaining 20% for test purpose. And we have used train test split method available from scikit-learn to split the dataset. Now in the third section, what we have done is we have vectorized our data. So our input data set is text data, and all the ML model works on float values, our real values. So we need to convert text to real values. We need to represent text as real values. So there is a vectorizer available from scikit-learn named tf-idf vectorizer that let us convert our text reviews to real values. So I won't discuss how this tf-idf works in detail over here, but I will share a link with you. As you can see, I have a tutorial on my website, Future Extraction from Text Data. There I have discussed in detail that how tf-idf works. So if you're interested, please feel free to check over here, tf-idf encoding. So this is the part where we encode our data. So we convert text to float values. So as you can see the output of this step, so initially there were 40,000 text reviews for train and 10,000 for test dataset. After this, the output of the X train vector array is 40,000 by 92,000 and 541. It's a two-dimensional array. So 92,541 is generally considered the length of a dictionary. So this many words are available in our dataset. So generally the text review is broken into tokens, and token in our case is words. Generally it's words. So there are 92,541 unique words in our dataset. And as you can see, for each review there will be 92,541 floats over there, and some of the words over here will have some value. So the words which are in our review will have values, and all other words which are not present in our value in our review will have zeros over there. So this is the input train and test dataset. So then we have trained our random forest classifier over here. As you can see, I have imported random forest classifier and called fit method with train features, train data features, and target labels, target values or labels. Okay, so it took me around 2 minutes to train this model. And then after training the model, in this section, fifth section, I have evaluated the performance of the model. So we have calculated train and test accuracy of the model. And then we have also calculated classification report and confusion metrics. So as you can see, the test accuracy is around 86%. So it's kind of a okay model. It's not that good, but we will use it for our purpose. Then classification report has precision, recall, and F1 score. And confusion metrics shows like how many positive reviews were correctly classified and how many negative reviews were correctly classified, and so on. So this was the part where we evaluate the model performance, and as you can see, the model is doing good. So we will use this model in our dashboard to classify reviews. Now in the next part, so over here what I am doing is interpreting model predictions. So we want to know that when our model predicts a particular category, whether positive or negative, which words are contributing towards that prediction, and how that word is contributing, whether that word is contributing positively towards the prediction or negatively. So that we can do using this Python library named Lime. So it's based on an algorithm named Lime. So for the full form of the algorithm is local interpretable model agnostic explanations, and the implementation of that algorithm is available through this module named Lime, Python module named Lime. So from Lime I have imported Lime text, so it's a submodule, and from that, first of all, I have created an explainer object by specifying the class names. So list of class names. So this is a list with only two strings, positive, negative, and positive. So after creating an explainer object, next I have defined a simple function. So what this function does is it takes list of reviews as input and returns the probabilities. So for each review, it will first vectorize that review, and then it will use classifier to make a prediction. So output of this function is probabilities for negative and positive reviews. And over here, what I have done is I have randomly selected a review from our test dataset, and then I have made a prediction on it, as you can see. And in order to make a prediction, I have used classify.predict, and then I have called a method named explain instance on the explainer object that we created earlier. This explainer object we have called explain instance. So this will return me an explanation object. So to this method, I have given the review that we have selected randomly, and then the classifier function which we designed over here, which returns the probability of positive and negative. And then I have specified this parameter named num features. So how many features we want to see in our output. So I want to see first 50 words that are contributing most towards the prediction. So then after we have created an explanation object, we can call this method name as pie plot figure on it. So this will return us matplotlib figure of bar chart, horizontal bar chart, as you can see. And over here we have words and whether that word contributed positively or negatively towards the prediction. You can also use this method name show in notebook, and it will also show you results something like this only. Right. So that's the part where we interpreted the prediction, and we will be using this exact function in our dashboard to create the chart which I displayed earlier. Right. And at the last, I have saved both our vectorizer and classifier, our random forest classifier. So vectorizer is saved as a vectorizer.joblib and classifier is saved at classifier.joblib. So I have already run this whole code of this Jupyter notebook and saved the vectorizer and classifier, which we will be using in our dashboard creation process. All right, so that was the part where I explained how we trained our random forest classifier and saved it. So over here there are some links. So we have tutorial on all the libraries like Lime and random forest and joblib and future extraction. So if you are interested, then please feel free to explore those tutorials on our website CoderzColumn.com. So here is the tutorial on random forest, and here is the tutorial on joblib, and this one is on future extraction from text data, which is for TF-IDF. Right, so that was the introduction to training the model. Now let's go ahead and start the part where we create our actual dashboard. Alright, so as you can see on my screen, I have a Visual Studio Code Editor open. So we'll be using this code editor for coding our dashboard. So I have already created a file named simple NLP dashboard.py, and in this file we'll be keeping the code for our dashboard. And as you can see on the screen, I already have some amount of code already present in this file. So let me explain you the code first. So at the beginning, I have first few imports. So I have imported Streamlit and then pandas, and then I have imported load method from joblib. So this will be used to load our model and vectorizer, which we saved earlier. And then I have imported TF-IDF vectorizer and random forest classifier. Next, I have imported Lime text. So this will be used for interpretation purpose. And last, I have imported regular expression. So this will also be used to tokenize the review. Right, so let's go ahead and let me explain you the first these functions which I have declared. So load vect10 modal method. So this function will be simply loading our vectorizer and classifier, our random forest classifier, and return them. So at the beginning, as you can see, I have used a decorator named cache resource. So this will cache this resource text, vectorize and classify, so that we don't need to reload it again and again. So in case of Streamlit, what happens is that whenever you change any widget value or any widget state, it reruns the script from the top. So if you run this method again and again, it can take time. So it's better to cache this resource. The next function is vectorize text. So this function simply takes a list of reviews as input and vectorize them. And then there is a function named predict class. So it takes a list of text as input and then makes a prediction of them for a class, whether it's positive or negative. And then there is a function named preprocessing. So this function takes a list of reviews as input and returns the probability for each review for a positive and negative class. Right, and now, so this is an important function, create colored review. So what this function does is it takes our original reviews as input, and then there is a data frame named word contributions. So what it does over here is that it first tokenizes our original review, so that we have list of tokens, and for each token it checks whether that word is present in this word contributions. If it is present, then we retrieve the contribution of that word, and if that contribution is positive, then we will highlight that word with the green color, else we will highlight that color with the red color. So in Streamlit, you can surround any word with this bracket and then specify color before it, followed by colon. So then that word will be colored with that specified color. So over here, as I am specifying colon green, so the word that goes inside will be of green color, and same will be for red color. So basically what this function is doing is it's taking our original review and it's coloring the individual words based on their contribution, whether that contributed positively or negatively. If they contributed positively, then word will be colored with the green color, else it will be colored with red. And if there is no presence of that word in the word contribution, then it will be kept black, original only, right? So next what I have done over here is I have simply declared the explainer. So we'll be using this explainer to create explanation object and then to interpret the prediction of our model, right? So let's go ahead with the coding part of our dashboard. So first of all, I will add a title to our dashboard. So I can use the function name title to add title to dashboard. It's directly available from Streamlit. So I have called st.title and I will say reviews classification. Now say positive versus negative. So positive I will color with green color. So as usual, I will say green colon green and then cover positive inside. Same I will do for negative. I will color it with red color. Now currently with Streamlit only 4-5 colors are available: red, green, blue, and 2 other colors, violet and some another one. Okay, so that's how we can color the words. And Streamlit also let us include various emojis in the text. So you need to know the name of the emoji in order to include it. So you need to specify that name of the emoji with, inside of the 2 columns. So I know one emoji name which is T, and there is one more name copy. So I will use that too for our tutorial. There is a one more named bar chart, so let me include that one as well, right? So now we have title of our tutorial. The next thing that we will do is, so after title we had a text area input. So there is a function named text area which I can use. So the first parameter to that function is label. So I will say enter review here. Then I can specify default value. So I will say enjoy dashboard. And I will also specify height of that text area to be 20. So now the output of this function is the review. So output of this function will be the text, the review entered by user. So now we have a text area, and next we need to create a button. So there is a function name button, and I will give it a label classify. So I will say submit. So this variable submit will have value true if the button is clicked, else it will have a false. So now when someone clicks on submit, whatever review is inside review, I need to classify it. So I will include if condition over here. So when submit and review both are present. So this is to avoid the case where someone clicks on submit but there is no text inside review. So we want that that some text is present for review, and then we will only classify. So now that we will go inside the loop, and if submit and review both are present, then first of all we will predict the class and probability. So there is a function named predict class, and this function accepts as I say list of reviews. So in our case we have review present as an individual, so I will put it inside bracket to provide as a list. And then so whatever is output, I will say prediction. So this is the prediction which can be either positive or negative. And then I will also calculate probabilities. So that function also takes the list of reviews as input, and I will say over here prop. So the output of this two function is the list with just one values. So because we are only giving one review, so in order to get, I will index both of that variables. So now we have a prediction and probabilities. So first of all, I will display the prediction. So in order to display, there is a function named markdown. So markdown will let us include markdown in our dashboard. So if you're not aware, markdown is a language that let us include formatted text. So if you have background with Jupyter Notebook, then you might be already aware with markdown. So I will say prediction over here, and I will include formatted text saying prediction. So this will display whether our prediction is positive or negative. And then we will display the probability, and that will be displayed as a metric. So in order to display metric, there is a function name metric. First of all is a label, which I will set to confidence. So what is the confidence of our model? And then there is a value. So this will be the probability of our model. So I will use the formatted text for this purpose. And over here, we need to display the probability of positive or negative review. So I will use a if condition. So if prediction is positive, then use props of 1 star 100. So props is a list of two values, and the first value is probability of a review being negative, and the second value is probability of review being positive. So if prediction is positive, then we do props of 1 star 100. Else the review is negative, then we display props of 0 star 100. All right, so now we have our initial dashboard ready, where we can give any review to it for classification purpose, and it will tell us the category and the confidence of the model. So let's run the dashboard and check this part. So as you can see on the screen below, I already have a terminal open, and I have saved the file of our dashboard, simple NLP dashboard.py, in the folder name Streamlit text classification dashboard. So in order to run the dashboard, we have a command named Streamlit, and then run, and then the name of the file, so which is simple NLP dashboard in our case. So let me execute this command. So as you can see on my screen, it opened a new tab and ran the dashboard. As you can see, the dashboard is available. So over here we can specify any review. So let's take the review which we had over here in our Jupyter Notebook. I will copy this one, and let me copy it over here, and let me click on classify. So as you can see, the prediction, it's saying negative, and the confidence is 62. So I forgot to include a percentage sign. So let me include a percentage sign over here. Now, as you saw, in case of a metric, it displayed the value 62%. So let me rerun it. As you can see, it displayed the value 62%. So the metrics are generally displayed with the value, some value which is above threshold. So in our case, let's set the threshold of 50%. If our model is confidence more than 50%, then we can say that that is a good amount of confidence. And we want to see the value like above 50%, how much more it is confidence. So that value we can specify using delta parameter. So over here, I will simply copy whatever is there in value, and if the prediction is positive, then what I will do is that I will subtract 50 from our probability of positive, and same I will do for negative probability. So I will subtract 50 from both. So then I have a value which is above 50, by how much amount it is positive about that value. So let me just show you that. All right, so as you can see now, it is showing that it's a 12% up above the 50% threshold. right? So now we have a prediction made and negative. So let's go ahead and add the part of our dashboard where we display the original review with the word highlighted with red and green color. So in order to do that, first of all, I need to create an explanation object. So I will use this explainer object which I created earlier, and then I will call a function name explain instance. So let me show you. I had used it in our Jupyter notebook over here. As you can see, explain instance. So that will create an explanation object. So let me copy this part of the code. All right, so now the first parameter to this function is review, and the second is a classifier function, which in our case is spread props, and we want 50 features, so that will keep it. So now we have an explanation object ready. Next we need to create a data frame which has a contribution of words. So this explanation object has a method name as list. So what this will return me, it will return me list of tuples where each tuple has two values. First value is the word and the second value is a float specifying the contribution of that word. So we will create a data frame using this list. Okay, so let me give name of the columns word and then contribution. Okay, let me copy contribution. So now I have a word contribution data frame. Okay, now we will use this word contribution data set to create a modify review where words are highlighted with red or green color. So at the beginning of this dashboard explanation, I had explained a method named create colored review. So this method will let us highlight the color with green, highlight the text with green or red color. So let's use this method. So the first argument to this function is review, which is our original review, and second is word contributions. Right. So output of this is modified review. So this modified review is again text, but the words are highlighted based on their contribution, either green or red. So then we can display that modified review using a function named write. So write function let us display different kinds of objects in our dashboard, and in this case we will be using it to display this text modify review. All right, so now we have a modified review as well. So let's go ahead and paste this part of the code. So let me go to dashboard, and on the top right corner, as you can see, there is a warning saying source file change. So I will click rerun. So every time you change the source code, it will be rerunning it. You can rerun it by clicking on that button, and you can also click always rerun. So then you don't need to rerun it again. It will rerun on its own, right? So as you can see, as I clicked on classify, now I have a text over here. So as you can see from the text, some of the words are highlighted with red color and some are highlighted with green color. So the words highlighted with red color are contributing negatively towards the prediction, and the ones in green are contributing positively. As you can see, main problems and all these words, acting seriously against, wasn't. So these are the words which are contributing negatively, lag and better and so on, redeeming feature, and the words like expected, reflect and so on are contributing positively, right? So now that we have this part of our dashboard ready, let's create a chart which was for word contribution. So let me open the image of our dashboard. So as you can see, we have this part ready. Now we'll be creating this chart and then organize the layout as well, right? So next, let's go ahead and create that chart as well. So in order to create a chart, I will be using an explanation object, and there is a method name as pyplot figure. So this method returns a matplotlib figure object which I can use, and then I will set figure height. So let me increase the figure height a bit because there are 50 features and we don't want to create a messy looking figure. Now that we have a figure object ready, next we need to display it in our dashboard. So dashboard has a Streamlit has a function named pyplot which accepts the matplotlib figure. So over here I will say figure, and then it will display that figure in dashboard. So, and there is a parameter name use container width which I will set to true. So if the width of the container increases or it shrinks, then it will increase the width of the figure as it increases or decreases. So that's why I use this parameter use container width to true. Otherwise it won't increase or decrease the width of the figure. All right, so it was that simple to create that figure. We were able to use explanation object and simply call as pyplot figure method on it. So let's check this part of the code as well. So let me click on rerun and let me click on classify. All right, so now as you can see, this image is ready as well. It's showing me like redeeming and all that are contributing towards negative, and the words like and so are other are contributing for review being positive. Right, so our dashboard is almost ready. Let's change the layout. So in order to change layout, we will need to divide our original horizontal space into two vertical space. So that we can do using, so at first I will call a function named columns which is available from Streamlit. Now this function accepts an integer. So the integer that I provide, it will return me two column object. So I will save them to col1 and col2. So what this will do, it will divide our horizontal space into two vertical space of equal size. And then there is a parameter named gap which I can set to medium. So by default it's set to small. So there is a small amount of gap between these two vertical columns, and so I want a little bit more gap, so I have set it to medium. It has three options. This parameter accepts small, medium, and large. Right. So now we have a two call objects. So we simply need to wrap the code into this columns. So we can use this column object as a Python context manager. So over here, let me copy this part of the code, put it over here. So this is the code where we are displaying the prediction and then metric and then modified review. So let's put it in col1, and then there is a bar chart which I will put in col2. Right, so as you can see, I have used col1 and col2 as a context manager with Python with statement, and this is the code which will be displayed on the left side, and this is the chart which will be displayed on the right side. All right, so let's test this part of the code. Right, so let me copy the review again. Yeah, and as you can see, our dashboard is ready. On the left side, as you can see, there is a prediction which is negative. Then there is a confidence, which is the probability. And then there is a original review with words highlighted for contributing positively or negatively. And on the right side, we have a chart as well. All right, so let's try this dashboard with one of the actual IMDB review. So let me go to IMDB. Let me select any movie randomly. Let's see this Puss Boots. Okay, so where are the reviews? Here are the user reviews. And let's select this reviews. Let's try this one. Let me click on classify. Yeah, so now the model is 72% confidence that this is a positive review. And as you can see, we can see the words which contributed to it being positive, like highly and fun, recommend, especially animation. And as you can see, these words are contributing towards this review being positive. Yeah, so that's it. We are done with the creation of this dashboard. So now there are many things that you can do to improve the performance of this dashboard. So in our case, we simply trained a random forest model on text dataset, which was vectorized using TF-IDF. But you can try many different things, like you can also use other vectorizer other than TF-IDF. There is a count vectorizer. You can also use word embeddings. Then you can try, so in our case all the tokens were single words, but you can try bigrams or trigrams as well. Other than that, you can also try different ML models. So we tried random forest classifier, but you can try gradient boosting machine, XGBoost, CatBoost, and so on. You can also try ML model as well, any neural network as well. So yeah, that's it for today's tutorial. In today's tutorial, I explained how you can create a reviews classification dashboard using Python dashboarding library Streamlit. So if you have any doubts or any question about this video, then please feel free to let me know in the comment section. And if you liked our video and you feel that you learned something new today, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Yeah, see you next time.